Hello, everyone, and welcome to Wednesday, July 8th, 2020. Well, the summer weather is here to stay, folks. We're just settling into a summer pattern. Of course, around these parts of the world, summer doesn't last very long, but when we get stuck in a summer pattern, it usually lasts a couple of months, and that's exactly what we're expecting. Very warm temperatures will continue through the weekend and into deep next week. I don't think we're going to have too many days of records. I do think a couple of records will be broken or tied, but no prolonged record-breaking heat, just some hot July weather. Afternoon and evening thunderstorms will continue mainly east of the Continental Divide. They've been around over the last several days in eastern Wyoming, western Nebraska, western South Dakota, and parts of eastern Colorado. That trend will continue, but west of the Divide, nothing. Fire danger continues to be a concern. Fire dangers are going to continue to increase, and we really need to get through the next couple of weeks, if possible, without getting fires started before we get some help from the monsoon. Long-range charts do indicate better rain chances in the 10 to 14-day period, so we can see it. We see it coming, but it's going to be a slow process to get here. This is the upper level pattern, the jet stream pattern, the structure of the atmosphere up at an 18,000 foot level. This is for this upcoming Saturday. And what you always want to look for are features, structure to the atmosphere. Notice we have this area of red here, this circle. This is an area of strong high pressure. You can see that the jet stream rides up and over. It's a ridge before it goes into a trough along the east coast. And we also have this area of low pressure up in the Pacific Northwest off the coast of British Columbia. This area of high pressure right here, underneath this is some very, very warm air. So temperatures under here as we head into the weekend will be very, very warm. This high pressure ridge will start to migrate slowly eastward as we head into the early to middle parts of next week. But this type of flow, with the winds following this pattern like this, you just don't tend to have that good subtropical moisture coming up out of central and Mexico coming into the United States. It gets directed off the coast of Mexico. You need the high to move east. So we're going to see the door closed to any good moisture supply. So we're just down to isolated gusty late day thunderstorms today and tomorrow. Very little thunderstorm activity Friday and Saturday with the high positioned here. But as we go out further, we'll see that change. Now, over the next 3.5 days, this is where the rain chances are going to be. Again, if you notice, it's along and east of the Continental Divide where the best moisture resides. So that's going to be where the better rain chances will be here in the coming days. Parts of Nebraska, the Dakotas, eastern Montana have the better moisture supply from the moisture coming up out of the Gulf over here, but it's going to be slim pickings in the high plains and the Rockies with rain. There'll be some thunderstorms, but producing more wind than rain. And boy, west of the Divide, just nada. Nothing going on. If you were to look at the 10-day temperature pattern, these are 10 days averaged together. Orange and red means above normal. White means normal. Blue means below average. You can see that we do have a little slot of cooler air that will come into the northern Rockies and parts of the northern plain states, but the southern tier of the United States is all orange into the Corn Belt in the Midwest here, with the heat really building here in the southern and central Rockies and the desert Southwest. Now, as we evolve with the upper level pattern, this is by next Thursday. Notice the high that was centered over New Mexico and Arizona now, and will be over the weekend, well, it migrates eastward. So what will happen is with that high there, the clockwise flow around the high, follow these upper level wind barbs. That's what those little black lines mean. That's where the upper level winds are going to be going from. Notice they come up from the south and west. So the flow of moisture that's now down here gets pushed into here. So by the middle to the end of next week, we're going to get some better rain chances, the type of thunderstorms that produce more than lightning and wind, but you get some decent rain out of them. So we need that high to go here like it's showing to get the rain going here. But that's not until the middle to the end of next week. When we look at the precipitable water, where the moisture is available for thunderstorms, this is the forecast for this afternoon. Anywhere you see white or green, white means average precipitable water, blue and green means above, and the gray and red here means dry. So here's some really, really dry air that's over here right now. You can see this little tongue of moisture. That moisture pattern I showed you earlier, where the thunderstorms were going to be over the next few days, that's where they're at because there's water available. Now, as we go forward, this is by next Tuesday. Notice the dryness expands a little bit, but it's not as intense. And right here, see this right here, the white and green? Well, this means subtropical moisture starting to move into Arizona and New Mexico. That's going to be brought up because of the high is here, and the circulation brings that in. And as you go further along, this is by next Friday. Notice the brown really evaporates, and the green and the white then comes back into the Intermountain West and Rockies. That's where we see the subtropical moisture coming in. And by next Monday, July 20th, well, look how deep the green gets. And there's even some blue into here. So that's basically, folks, this is the monsoon. Throw an M on there. It really starts getting going right around a week from this past Monday, around the 20th and thereafter. And that's usually when we really start to see it move on in. For those folks that live along the Front Range, especially around Cheyenne, we always joke that Cheyenne Frontier Days is when you can expect it to rain around here, and that is going to be the case. So we may have rain this year during Frontier Days, just no Cheyenne Frontier Days. Thanks for listening to watching the Day Weather Podcast. Have yourself a good Wednesday. See you Thursday.